Welcome to the Wellness Lab Digest, where we help you to absorb powerful, life-changing insights from top wellness experts with our daily bite-sized wellness podcast summaries. Each episode is packed with distilled, powerful takeaways to boost your health and well-being. To support this podcast, please scroll down on whatever app you're listening. Ratings and reviews are helpful. Even better, just send the show to a friend. Check out our sponsors at the bottom of the page, or simply click the Support the Show link below the episode description. Celebrating our 100th episode. Thank you all for listening and growing and your support. Let's keep this going and stay healthy and strong. Here's a mind-blowing fact. Our muscles hit their absolute peak strength at exactly age 25. And from there, we lose up to 8% of our muscle mass every single decade. But what's happening to make our bodies betray us like this?
That's such a striking statistic. I was just thinking about how in my 20s, I could bounce back from workouts like they were nothing. Now, not so much.
Well, here's what's fascinating about that. It's not just about feeling sore. The science shows we're actually experiencing a biological process called sarcopenia, where our muscle fibers literally shrink in both size and number as we age.
So what exactly is happening to our bodies during this process?
Well, from age 30 onwards, we lose about 3 to 8% of our muscle mass per decade. And here's the kicker. By the time we hit our 50s, that loss accelerates to 5 to 10% every decade. So by age 65, most people have lost around 15 pounds of pure muscle mass.
That's actually quite alarming when you put it in pounds like that.
And you know what makes this even more interesting? It's not just about aging. Our hormones play a huge role. In our 20s, we've got this perfect storm of muscle-building hormones like testosterone, growth hormone, and something called insulin like growth factor 1.
That explains why professional athletes tend to peak in their mid-20s.
Exactly right. But here's where it gets really interesting. Lifestyle factors play an enormous role, too. Research from 2004 showed that our increasingly sedentary lifestyles, especially with today's work-from-home culture, are accelerating muscle loss way beyond what's natural.
Oh, and I've heard that women face some unique challenges with this, right?
Yes, and this is crucial. During perimenopause, which typically starts around 47 but can begin as early as the mid-30s, women experience a dramatic drop in estrogen. This hormone is actually key for maintaining muscle mass and strength.
That's quite a complex picture. What can we actually do about all this?
Well, here's the good news. Research shows we can fight back against muscle loss through something called progressive strength training. It's not just about lifting weights. It's about systematically increasing the challenge over time.
How do we know when to increase that challenge, though?
Here's a practical guideline. When you can complete 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps without much struggle, it's time to up your weights. But, and this is crucial, protein intake becomes increasingly important as we age because our bodies become less efficient at processing it.
Speaking of protein, how much should we actually be getting?
The latest research shows older adults need at least 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight. That's significantly more than the standard recommended daily allowance. And here's something fascinating. While animal proteins are complete proteins containing all 9 essential amino acids, plant-based options like quinoa and hemp seeds can be just as effective.
That's really helpful to know about the plant-based options. What about recovery? That seems to become more important as we age.
You know what's fascinating about recovery? It's actually during these rest periods that our muscles repair and grow stronger. Think of it like renovating a building. The workout is the demolition, and recovery is when we rebuild everything better and stronger.
That's such a great way to think about it. Makes me feel less guilty about taking rest days.
And here's what's really exciting about all this. Research shows that even people in their 80s and 90s can build muscle mass with the right approach. It's never too late to start, and the benefits go way beyond just strength. We're talking better metabolism, improved bone density, enhanced balance, and even better cognitive function.
That's actually quite empowering. It sounds like we have more control over this process than most people realize.
Absolutely right. The key takeaway here is that while muscle loss is natural, it's not inevitable in the way we once thought. By combining progressive strength training, proper protein intake, and strategic recovery, we can maintain significantly more muscle mass than previously believed possible.
That's a perfect note to end on. Thank you all for joining us for this fascinating discussion about muscle loss and aging.
Indeed. Remember, your muscles might peak at 25, but with the right approach, you can stay strong and capable for decades to come. Until next time, keep moving and keep challenging those muscles. Thank you for listening to the Wellness Lab Digest. If you have received value from the podcast, I have 3 asks of you. 1, share the show with your friends and send them a link to the show. 2, please leave a rating and review in whatever app you're listening. And last but not least, please let me know what topics you would like us to cover in the future. You can contact me by sending me a message using the Send Us a Text link below the episode description.